What's going on, everybody? Welcome to League Zero. I am Joe Razor, joined here by Mob Killer, and today we will be bringing you a match in the intermediate division between Beach Ball and Meerkat Kollapse.
Yeah, Beach Ball Meerkat Collapse. Both of these teams coming into a week two, excuse me, after a very hard week one. Both of them winning a 6 map series,
Yeah,
3-2 with one drawn map. That's a lot.
yeah. I mean, when you look at Overwatch, six map series are rare enough already, but to have two six-map series in the same week in the same division, it's crazy. But yeah.
And then to see both of the winners going head to head after that is just as rare. So we can really tell that these teams have that mental fortitude to keep themselves in a series, and to see those going against each other so early in the season is great.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. So we are preparing to hop in here soon, and looking at the maps. Map one here, we're gonna be starting control, and it's gonna be Oasis. It appears for our first map, and I think I think Oasis is a fun map. I'm actually a decent fan of Oasis.
Yeah, I mean, I think Li Jiang is always going to be in my heart personally as my favorite control. Oasis is definitely second up. Being able to play the dive on places like not Gardens, but University is a big brawl map, and you could favor the brawl there while playing over the center pillar in, I believe, City Center.
I believe so.
Yeah,
But Oasis, I always forget the Oasis map
it
names.
goes
I know
there.
University and then the other
Yeah,
two. Oh,
it's because that's the only
University,
fun one.
University, the bounce pad one, and then the other one.
Yeah, and we gotta love that. I think most control maps do have that level of diversity, while Oasis definitely contains that with the Brawl on University, the dive on City Center, and then maybe on the last one, you can kind of flex around and see what really works. The tide of this series can really go depending on how dominant or how non-dominant this first control map is.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. Like you said, there's a lot of different. You can play a lot of different comps on this map. Wrecking Ball gets play, Sigma in some cases, of course, Brawl on University, like you mentioned. And if you can dominate this map, if you could take good control of this map, it tends, especially Oasis, it tends to mean that you are set up to do well with the rest of the series. Obviously, Control is a very different game mode from the other three. And so, in some cases, Brawl like Brawl gets more play on Control than any other game mode, and so in some cases you could see these Brawl teams do substantially better on Control and then struggle a bit more on the other map types. But on a map like Oasis, I tend to find that I don't have any stats to back this up, but I tend to find that teams that do well on Oasis tend to be like tend to do well in the rest of the series. While maps like Lijiang, you tend to see the opposite at times. So I don't know if this is true. This might just be me making stuff up, but it seems to be true when I watch games.
Well, either way, I think control is very defensive orientated, where this first fight matters more than all the others. Being able to hold that position and playing when you want it after getting that first fight win is entirely huge to pulling out the map and then potentially the rest of the series.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. Um,
Looking forward, though, I mean, we have our 6 players in. I don't exactly know if it's the same 6 as the last series, but they are looking pretty confident as they kind of threw these players in immediately.
yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, these rosters are both fairly good. I think these could possibly. I don't want to say they will be, but I think these both teams really could have a shot at being the best teams in intermediate. They both have really strong rosters, and I'm a big Melbourne Midnight's enjoyer. I think their roster is really good. I liked how they played, but I do feel that one of these teams could definitely be the best, and I think this is going to be a really good temperature check to see where these two teams stand, and I'm expecting a good series. I think both these teams are close. Another six mapper, who knows? Maybe these teams are cursed to only play six map series, but
I love to see it go to 7. But either way, we definitely, like you're saying, these teams are looking very strong on paper. They have a combination of veteran talent and some good looking rookies alike. So definitely could see either one of these teams, or perhaps even both of these teams, being pretty strong in this division.
Yeah, I think this is definitely it's a very strong division. Um, this is it's a division that has a lot of good teams. I mean, of course, there's some rule requirements of how many Masters players teams can play, but even despite that, you still see like the Masters players aren't always dominating. You have some of these Diamond players really putting up good performances. And I really think this is one of the more balanced divisions we've had in League Zero in quite some time. I mean, I think these two teams are very close. Of course, last week they both went to six. So that's like four teams that are right around the same skill level. Just basically just uh based purely off results, like not even looking at their rosters. And I'm very excited to see where this division heads. We have a lot of gameplay left. Of course, we have some of those midseason tournaments, and so this is all building up towards that midseason tournament that then builds up towards the playoffs. And I'm excited to see how these teams could do in that midseason tournament. And I think, like I said earlier, I think these two teams could be fighting for that midseason tournament.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely going to be the big litmus test when we get there. Is sure you can maybe win out some regular season games to get there, but how do you perform in those high pressure scenarios? And I think both of these teams already have really proved that they can perform on a high pressure scenarios. Excuse me, because I mean I couldn't imagine a higher pressure scenario than a six map series.
Yeah, I mean, six maps is like it's quite crazy. I remember I was doing a set one time. It was the winner finals of this tournament, and it was a first to four. For some reason, I had the winners finals first to four. Um, and that ends up it went to like 8 maps, and the players were like, it was one of the craziest series I've ever watched. And these players, they were telling us in the post game interview, this was like one of the most high pressure situations they've ever played in. I mean, you're playing the super long series, and the longer it goes, you feel more tired, of course, because you're just playing a lot more, but you also just you feel more pressure because the more time you commit, you feel like you need to win. Like
Yeah.
so
I mean, I'm an ex-player myself, and playing in those series, like a five map or a versus sweep scenario, any mistake that you make is so hard on yourself. You beat yourself up so much after the littlest of mistakes because that could have cost you. You know, you spent 2 hours, 3 hours maybe in a match going head to head with some of the best in the division, and to fall because you made a simple mistake, or maybe you're just tired from the long match, it feels horrible. But for these teams to stay in it like that is very strong, and I'm excited to see them go each other as we're kind of starting to get into it slowly, but surely these teams are kind of heating up.
yeah, it's for sure. For some reason we're not in yet. I'm
I
starting
think,
to be filled with confusion.
yeah, we
I'm
do
just
have a running timer currently. We have some players not currently at their desks to play, so we're going to continue to kind of go. I mean, composition wise, I think since the Overwatch League has moved on to Overwatch 2, I was talking about this in the last series that I casted, but since Overwatch League has moved into Overwatch 2 and kind of left Overwatch 1, the compositions have opened up so drastically, and the balance patches not being able to look at, oh, well, Overwatch League's playing this, so that's meta after a certain balance patch. It really leaves up to the coaching of this team and the players on this team to decide what compositions they like and where. I think that's led to a lot of interpretation and honestly surprises coming out from certain teams.
yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, like you said, it's just uh it's been really interesting to watch because every team seems to have a different take on the meta currently. Because, like you said, we are playing in this Overwatch League list uh, society essentially. I mean, where you see these teams scavenging like open division VODs to find what team comps to play. I mean, it's extremely interesting, especially because contenders is starting up in a few months. But even then, we still won't know what teams are playing. Obviously, we'll be very close to Overwatch 2 at that point, but contenders will be on Overwatch 2 and stuff. I believe Doc has finally returned. So
Yeah,
we are
we'll get to
finally
this.
going in. Took us about 30 minutes, but we're here.
We're here nonetheless and ready to go into Oasis. We'll be starting on not the university, not city center, but we're going onto what I call the kind of hybrid map of Oasis, where university is good for brawl, city center is good for dive. Both are good here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This is the point I refer to as the other one.
Yes, this
Because
is the other one.
this is the other one. So we'll
And
be hopping in here.
this is always the biggest decider for me, and when it comes in terms of series, because it feels like this is the round of Oasis that always kind of goes either way. If anyone's going to sneak away with a victory on control, I feel like it's going to be whoever wins this round.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you. See
And we
where
are
hopping
seeing
in here. It's
some.
going to be brawl for both ends, but different takes on it.
Yeah, the Reaper Doomfist Zarya comp definitely wants to go as fast as possible, while a May Torbjorn comp definitely wants to slow it down a little bit. So we're going to see the styles. Can they be able to hold this off and not let the Doomfist and Reaper run them over? And we're about to see.
Yeah, you can see the Doom engages. A counter pick comes through from the Reinhardt, which forces out the Immortality field. But two early picks, three, excuse me, go the way of Beach Ball. It looked like a really nice engage with the Doomfist there, but the Immortality field managed to keep the members of Beach Ball alive for long enough to make use of that Immortality field and get the counter engage.
Yeah, several people going off into the drink there, but Beach Ball, Meerkat did get the first pick. Beach Ball answered back with 3 of their own, so it's a really simple fight. And now you're looking at ult charge. Luca is 63% to the air matrix, while Sly's only at 26 as they fell early in that fight. That's going to be a big difference maker going forward.
Yeah, for sure. You can see they're going to try to hold on top of this high ground, which is a really powerful position to hold, and a really nice Baywall is going to cut them off. And the Doomfist tries to engage, but just gets met with an Immortality field and a May, so will fall very low, be pushed away before being taken down, and even more kills going the way of Beach Ball. So once again, just really nice Baywall, really nice counter engage from Beach Ball, and making great use of that Immortality field.
Yeah, Dake getting a late pick onto Dr. Jargo could be big. But the thing I want to point out is Beach Ball's playing this high ground with this kind of pokey style of brawl with May. And it seems counterintuitive, but Meerkat actually running into them feeds right into Beach Ball's hands. They kind of want to go onto the point and force them down instead of having to go up there on their terms. And that's something I want to see Meerkat adapt to. Doesn't look like they will, though.
You see they're pushing up the high ground, but Luca's going to pop the window, and then the big roll, and then we also have that Molten Core, which does so much damage. A bit of a ego earth shatter, I like to call it there from Krieg, but I mean, really nice usage of the Baywall and the Molten Core to shut down that fight.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing. Meerkat has been running their heads into a wall, specifically a May wall, over and over again, and now it's almost one-fight territory for Beach Ball, and still some very powerful ultimates online for Beach Ball. Meerkat taking a different approach, though.
Yeah, you can see they're engaging from the low ground this time, but they're still running into some of the similar issues, but a good Earth Shatter is going to connect onto Luca and Green. Now that gives a two-player advantage to the side of Meerkat. Kollapse, and despite the Diva Bomb getting some value, I don't believe Beach Ball have enough players alive to turn this fight around, so this will be Meerkat taking the point over.
Yeah, it's only just the Diva and the Lucio alive there. The kills look like they could have flipped it over. But I think the biggest thing there is Dr. Jargo's Blizzard getting eaten from Michael. That was so big, along with the Shadow onto the Baptista. No Immortality field available. Both of those in combination just let Meerkat do what they want to and run straight over. And now we're seeing Miracles.
Yeah, you can see they're trying to engage in the small hallway. The counter ping comes through. And then you have the sound barrier as well for Beach Ball, but the counter barrier is there for Ducks. And Crick gets put into a small corner, frozen up, and then taken down from the fight, which means that Beach Ball has to leave.
Yeah, I mean, Beach Ball went into that small room to be able to keep Quake alive as much as they could, but 6 players looking at you and a Death Blossom is a little bit too much to tank as that barrier decays fast. But there is a Shadow there is a Shadow field and Blizzard coming up on the side of Beach Ball, but they have ults to answer back on the side of Meerkat as well. This is going to be a big ult fight.
Yeah, for sure. As you can see, then there's the window from both ends, and a really nice blizzard comes through. It sets up a Diva Bomb, but all it will find is the Immortality Field. And I can see the counter engage with the blizzard of from Dr. Jargo, as well as that Death Blossom, means that they will be able to push on to the point, but Slime is going to try to keep this in their favor as he manages to find 2 kills on their way out. And then another kill from the supports as Doc manages to take down Luca. And so this stall and picks coming through from Meerkat may allow them to get the respawn back in tow and manage to flip this around. They do end up losing Reborn, but they are starting to find some respawns, but at this point so is Beach Ball. So it looks like it should go the way of Beach Ball as we're nearing 90% now for Meerkat.
Yeah, Beach Ball able to come back in and stall with that Diva Ball, finding crucial picks with the beat on the other side. Ducks letting them push forward, build up to this tank. Dog finds state though. There's a large chunk of damage out of the fight. Michael not able to build up to that bomb. Sam really the last hope, but is not going to be able to get there really in time. Ducks finding another kill onto the back line, but it's just not enough. Shadow being nice, but not able to get too much through. As Beach Ball looking to take round 1.
Yeah, Beach Ball have firm control here. You're going to look at a late touch coming through from Date, who does have this Death Blossom, but is met with a Defense Matrix and a Sow Barrier. So this will spell the end here as Doc just cleans it up. A really close opening point here, but it does end up going the way of Beach Ball. A good pick there from Reborn, but I think it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, definitely too late there. Though big shout outs to Meerkat being able to even that. They went down 99-0 and were able to even it out to 100-99. Definitely gives you more hopes for them in these future rounds. While on that Brawl Comp, I think, especially since we're going to University, I do like the style that they're coming out here. They seem comfortable on that Brawl. And if Beach Ball can win that Brawl 1v1 again, then they'll just take this map just like that.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to move forward on to University now. Another really, this is really the main Brawl map that you see. And so, especially because we saw both teams play it last point, we know they're going to play it here. And this time we're going to see the Doomfist again from the side of Meerkat, but they're going to start this Metro, possibly go back over onto the Reaper, but yeah, and they will.
Yeah, the Doomfist Reaper comp, Zarya comp is something they really seem to want to play, and now it's going to be able to work wonders here.
Yeah, this could work extremely well there, and you can see Lucas falling very weak, but the flashbang coming through from Doc's gonna manage to peel them for a short period of time, but the pin cannot be peeled as Creek will end up falling, and then losing your main tank transfer due to these Brawl mirrors. So this will end Beach Ball's opening fight and allow Meerkat to get the opening cap.
Normally, the upside to losing the first point is you can actually charge your Baptiste ultimate faster because of that increased damage, but Sly is still in the lead despite winning the fight. But it looks like they're coming back, Beach Ball's coming back with a vengeance fast.
Yeah, swap onto Reaper as well for Doc, moving off that Cassie, so a little bit more damage. You can see that Maywell is actually fairly good. It results in the death of Reborn, but the Earth Shatter is absolutely huge from Sam.
What a shadow from Sam, finding exactly the right movement. I could tell just by the way they were playing. Quake was also looking for that shadow. Sam getting it just a little bit fast and able to instantly win the fight with a click of a button. Now Beach Ball coming back with a lot of ultimates building up too. This is going to be the big do or die fight.
Yeah, Reborn coming around the flank here has the Doom ult to play a bit more aggressive. There's the window as well as the Immortality Field, but absolutely huge Doom ult. The Earth Shatter does make some connections, but I believe it's going to be too late here. Doc fights too near the end of the fight, but their respawns are going to be too late for them to capitalize off of those. So once again, Meerkat will hold on.
One thing you want to look at here is with the good Reinhardt swinging, Sam was able to build the entirety of their shadow back in that one fight. And Quake is 0% while Sam built it up again. They might not be ready for this. They have to be careful. Sam looking for the shadow at any moment.
Yeah, Death Blossom though is going to come through from Date and allows him to get one. The Counter Blossom from Doc gets a little bit more value. And now you're looking at a fight that is favored in the way of Beach Ball. There was an attempted Earth Shatter there from Sam, but Dr. Jargo's Blizzard actually Ajaxed it with the freeze, so...
Yeah, Quake getting knocked onto the floor, but after being frozen, there's nothing Sam can really do about it. Now we get to see Beach Ball go over to Samba Moira. Very interesting. Losing that Immortality Field is huge. I don't know if this is going to be the right move or not.
We will see. There's the window coming through, but I was gonna say they were able to kite it, but not everybody as they managed to fall back to point in time. Earth Shatter in line for Krieg, and it's absolutely massive! Hits 5 players onto the ground. And now this is looking incredibly good here for Beach Ball. Great use of the tank ultimate to secure that fight.
Yeah, Michael's grab going out the second that the Shadow lands, so unfortunate to lose all value. That's the second time in a row a tank ultimate has been countered by another ultimate on the side of Beach Ball. They've been so good about using these ultimates second and getting value of only theirs.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to see a swap over onto the Diva here. So a bit more of a standard brawl coming through from the side of Meerkat. Engage coming through. Create falls low, so he has to fall back to the point, giving up a lot of space, and will actually end up going down. So really nice opening there. And now you have the Death Blossom at the back from Doc, however, trying to turn this fight, and it should be able to do so. A 3K there for Doc. A bit of a celebratory EMP there from Dr. Jargo, but nicely done there
Yeah.
for Beach Ball, other than that EMP.
I mean, that EMP only finding a 1 health, no cryo reborn, not really the value you're looking for, especially since in this ball comp, a well-placed EMP can instantly win these guys a fight. And this is final fight territory, more or less. If they just save the EMP here, they could basically guarantee this map for them.
Yeah, for sure. And now you can see the engage coming through. They have to use their immortality field early due to this coalescence. And you have the window as well from Slival, allowing a bit extra damage to be pumped through.
Oh, what a hack!
But Reborn gets a bit too aggressive looking for a Blizzard and goes down, and Dink gets hacked up right as the Death Blossom ends. And then a huge shatter now from Creek to knock the tanks onto the ground. This is looking like Beach Ball's about to win.
And they're definitely going to take it. It's just a little bit of a staggers coming out. Not much point presence for Meerkat. And I think that really comes down to Reborn going too aggressive, not noticing the Samba hacking, so they don't have that cryo, and they died with Blizzard. That was the fight-winning ultimate. And while they didn't need the EMP, it was really unfortunate to see Reborn go down like that. But Doc getting the play of the game, and a well-deserved map 1 win for Beach Ball.
Yeah, despite it being a 2-0, it was very close, both points. I mean, I think the other one was, the first one was 99-99, and this one here was 99-83. So both very close points. Nicely done, though, from Beach Ball to come up big in these clutch rounds, or clutch fights to secure the round.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Beach Ball, they didn't really fumble at all. It turns out Doc not wearing pants, no pants on head moment for Doc, been able to keep it together
The
and really
anti-pant stuff.
take, yeah, anti pants on head moment from Beach Ball. They clutched it out in pretty dominant fashion. While the fights were close, it really felt like Beach Ball was in the driver's seat for most of it. While they did lose some fights here and there, they were it felt like they were more reasonable with their ultimates outside of obviously that one EMP, which might have actually been a misclick now that I'm really thinking about it.
Yeah, it might have been. It's not entirely clear, but in the end, it doesn't matter. They get the fight, the following fight win, secure the map win, and now we're gonna be looking at Meerkat's map pick as they lost map 1, and they will want to go to Hollywood here.
Yeah, Hollywood, I think they can definitely fit the styles. It seems like both of these teams really favoring that Brawl Cup, at least on those points. We didn't really see what they wanted to do on Gardens, but I think in the Brawl Mirror, it could be very interesting and be both of these Reinhardts very talented, and the team around them seems to support them in their endeavors. I just, I think the comp coming up from Beach Ball was very interesting. It was basically a six-man, but with a Reinhardt instead of a Winston, which could prove to be very strong against Meerkat's kind of slower style of Brawl.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you. There's a fly in my face.
Trying to sabotage the broadcast,
I know.
not gonna let it done.
I don't know
As
where it went,
I
but
think Hollywood is going to be a big obviously, like we're saying, control a lot of the ways is anyone's game, regardless of who's favored in the series. It's kind of that wild card of a map, which is another reason why we have it as the first and have had it as the first map in basically most Overwatch competitions since the beginning of Overwatch. But now we go into the more standard and kind of solved maps like Hollywood, where we know we know what we're gonna see, we know what's good where, and I think I want to see these teams who is better at adapting on the fly? Are they going to run something else other than Brawl? And if so, how is the other team going to counter it or deal with it?
Yeah, for sure. um, I feel like Beach Ball style of brawl, or Meerkat, excuse me, style of brawl with that Doomfist. If they do want to do it again, I think it works better on a Hollywood than say a King's Row. Kings Row tends to be the traditional map like hybrid pick. But if they do want to play this Doomfist brawl, I actually like Hollywood a bit better for that. I would like to just see them probably not play brawl on Hollywood. You can play it on first point, but second point it can struggle if you don't win the immediate fight. But I think if they do want to play the Doomfist comp, I think it's works pretty decently on Hollywood.
Yeah, I think on this, you were saying, Brawl probably not the most optimal comp here. I think a double shield or a dive comp can do very well, especially on this point A defense. The one thing I'm worried about is Meerkat's defensive ability. That Doomfist comp wants to go fast, and if Beach Ball is able to accurately kite that fast comp on their attack, it seems like it's just gonna run out of steam, and then they can kind of blow them over.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. So believe we're preparing to hop in here, just waiting for everybody to give us the R. But yeah, do you think Meerkat is favored here? I mean, Beach Ball, excuse me. Obviously, they win map one, but it's very close. Do you think they're going to be favored in the rest of the set?
I think their style very much favors attacking on Hollywood. Sorry, I think the style very much favors defense. On where it really seemed like they were disciplined and they know where they want to engage and when. And I think that could definitely benefit on defense. So I would probably favor them more so because I'm worried about Meerkat's attack and the kind of
Welcome to
reckless
Hollywood.
style. And that style can get them a point A capture,
Initiating
maybe a point B
launch.
capture. But eventually that time bank's going to run out. While a more disciplined team could definitely keep that clock up and just run you down.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So hopping in here, Meerkat going to be hopping on the attacking side here, or defensive side. Struggling to speak. Meerkat on defense.
Yeah,
So
we did have a red and blue team
Ready
swap,
for
and we
battle.
do see a lot of different heroes on the board. Not a single hero in common between both teams.
yeah, we can give the attack some time. They got some time to
Yeah,
swap
but
things
this
up.
defensive comp, I do like this ball
30
sig poke
seconds.
comp here. It can counter brawl, it can kind of counter dive, and it just feels like a very competent composition. Well, we're gonna see what they settle on for attack. I'm gonna assume it's not Winston OS.
Yeah, actually, I think this attacking comp here currently that
Uh,
they're on,
yeah, this is
it's
a good dive.
pretty decent. I like
Five,
this dive.
four,
Interesting pick on the
three,
Hanzo though.
two,
Normally you'd see like a
one.
Tracer, maybe a Sombra, and then
Attackers
sometimes if they want
incoming.
to hit scan, it's
Defend
normally the
objective
Cassidy
A.
or sometimes the Ash even. But
And
I
perhaps
I
Doc is
do
just a
I
really
do
lethal
enjoy this
Onto.
the style of attacking comp where you have kind of you have the dive tanks and like a dive DPS and then kind of the mid range DPS to go alongside them.
Yeah, I want to see them make a crossfire here, make this Sigma really work, and don't let this ball have any space.
Yeah, for sure. They're gonna need to really just anytime
Oh
the ball
god.
engage, put a lot of pressure on them. As you can
Doc
see,
on
they're
like
just kind
2
of
HP there.
yeah, they're kind of just playing for a poke here, or pick, excuse me. And now they're gonna start rotating to the high ground, but Dane does manage to find the opening kill, taking Dr. Jargo out. But you do have the resurrect there. Coming from behind now is Sam though, with some help from Reborn, putting a lot of pressure here. Kind of drawing a decent amount of resources, but currently, you kind of just see Beach Ball sitting on this high ground, hoping they can find a pick, but now you're going to have the Nano Boost going forward on a creep. He tries to dive the high ground, but gets booped back, and now is very weak, so will end up falling to Bob to contest point as well, putting a lot of pressure onto Green, and this is going to be the fight over. A lot of time wasted, I felt, from Beach Ball, just kind of sitting on the high
I
ground.
I do think Beach Ball played that excellently all up to their engage. What they did is they just wanted to take damage from this poke op and farm Nano, which they did. But when they engaged, it was just Crake jumping in all on their own. Nobody else came with them, and they just got melted down inside with 6 players. That's not how you need to dive against a high damage comp like this.
Yeah, for sure. Post Bob online here for Reborn. If he could get like a pick now onto this Zenyatta, now that they swapped over to this kind of ball comp, with this Zen backline, I think it could be huge. Pulse Web goes in, but does miss. Dragon Strike try to clear off this high ground. It does actually buy him a decent amount of space, and Reborn will end up falling, but you do have to trade there for the mech. But headed south from Slimewool is going to allow the aggression to come through. You can see Sam doing so there in tow. No picks off of it, though, as all that's going to happen is Date actually falls down, but the Baby Diva of Makima does fall shortly. Now the engage into the back line from Sam is going to come through as he drops the bind and takes down 2. Make that a 3K with the bind for Sam. Nicely done there from the Wrecking Ball of Meerkat Kollapse.
Yeah, Sam getting 4 in total left. I definitely turned the tides. It was Quake's Wrecking Ball in the back that really made some space, like that pick on the Date. And now, with the kind of composition swaps, they'll continue to swap the Hanzo onto a Tracer, going for even heavier dive now. And it's really going to be on. If the backline of Meerkat can continue to survive these dives, they could be looking at a first point hold.
Yeah, for sure. As you only have a minute left on the clock, and with how slow these comps play against each other, that's really only one fight, so they got to get something going here. Greek is actually finding himself in a bit of trouble here. But looks like he should be out okay. The Flux actually just completely whiffs. It looks like the plan was a solo Flux there onto Makima, but actually doesn't matter as the dive of Reborn and Sam looks incredibly good. And that's actually okay here for Beach Ball, because that fight took like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think I like the plan for Makima to go aggressive because a lot of teams don't expect the enemy team to walk forward when they're defending. But I do not really like the timing, burning Rally and Flash 2 really big important ults while there's still another fight on the board, especially with this EMP. Dr. Jargo's been trying to build it the whole match, and if they can build it mid-fight here, this can definitely be bad for Beach Ball.
Yeah, they should be building that up here shortly, and like you said, that could cause disaster. You can see Craig trying to find some space in the backline, and the Minefield does a decent job, but the Bob can neutralize some of that. But the Bob, I believe, did get hacked up, and they're going to be able to push forward and get the pick there onto Ducks. And now you have to rally for the attacking side of Beach Ball, and with this two opening kills, they're not even going to need that EMP. So, in overtime, in the final hour, Beach Ball does manage to get a fight-winning capture point number 1.
Yeah, it's an excellent, I will say it's an excellent first hold from Meerkat. With how much Clash was really talking on them on the potential defense, they definitely impressed, getting this clock all the way down to 0 before letting them cap. Dr. Jargo's EMP, though, could basically guarantee them a fight win here if they well-time a dive onto Sly. Ooh, not like that, though.
Okay. Sly just making his presence down. Taking down Doctor.
The 5-orb spam, it'll kill the best of us.
Nicely done there. You see Drake on the low ground here, trying to buy some space, but he's getting forced back by the other team's Wrecking Ball. And now Makima's not the guy you want to push cart here. Because of the fact that she's on this cart, she's very susceptible to just being killed, but will pop the Flux. Hits the Brig, it looks like, and the Transcendence was actually too early, so it doesn't end up keeping them alive, and a great EMP is going to combine onto multiple members, but early kills come through, and Day with a 4K from the high ground. Huge plays from the Ash of Meerkat Kollapse.
Yeah, Date went crazy on there. The Wrecking Ball of Quake forced everyone onto Meerkat on the low ground, but Date went back up and was uncontested and there, was able to free shoot like it's ducks in Duck Hunt. I'm sorry, yeah, ducks in Duck Hunt. And they were able to find forward, completely turning aside the EMP, a non-factor when your gun still works.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely great plays there. And now they're going to try to engage, it looks like, up this elevator. But they're going to have some troubles as the Wrecking Ball, and now the Bob's going to go into this small room. Transcendence has to be burned from Meerkat just to stay alive. Minefield does end up getting deployed there onto this high ground, and it results in 3 kills there. These Minefields this map have been getting a huge value. First with 3K from Sam, now with 3K from 3, and this will spell doom to this fight.
Yeah, but it's really dangerous zone for Beach Ball. With 35 seconds on the clock, they have one fight here. If they lose this next fight, they're not going to be able to cap B.
30 seconds remaining.
Going
Huge
forward,
fight
though,
here coming up.
Sam looking to set up a dive because, like I said, a fight win is everything. The flux of Michael needs to be big here. With Transcendence off the table, it's on the rally to really make this go.
Yeah, there's the flux. The rock does miss, so it's going to connect onto two. It
Oh!
results in 2 kills. Huge play there coming through from Michael. And now, if you're on the side of Beach Ball, you need to come up with a big hero play here late. They're just trying to get the cart to go for it as much as possible, but with Creek falling, they will be running out of options here shortly. Transcendence to cap this off here from Slimal, and that will be a very good defense coming through from Meerkat Collapse.
Yeah, a half map completion is exactly what you would want from your cat. Very close to the full hold, but that's all you can really ask for after capping A. It's very impressive, I will say. That the main thing I want to look at is that EMP fight. Dr. Jargo not able to get that value from EMP and not able to build it to a second one though. That was like 5-6 minutes of Samba with one EMP on the board. That's not the value you want from that character. While on the other side, Date was able to find so much value on that Ash.
Yeah, for sure. Nicely done there. Now hopping into the second round here as they swap sides. I believe that we might see a ball comp here from the attack of Meerkat. Looks like that is what they want to run here.
This
Of course,
defensive
they
comp,
ran it
though,
on the
does make
defense, and it
sense.
can still get good value on the attack.
I like this defensive comp. I mean, they're running a heavy anti-dive comp, something reminiscent of the Atlanta Rain in 2021. Because, I mean, you go in there, you don't really win the ball mirror, so what do? You counter it.
Yeah, it's a very anti-dive comp. To make it even more anti-dive, you could pull out like a Sigma, but this is definitely going to cause some problems for the ball comp here of Meerkat, but hopping in here, Sly's going to be on the Zenyatta again, so you're going to have the Zen Mercy backline, and this shouldn't run into too many problems because you don't really have any dive characters on the side of Beach Ball, so this comp should, the backline should be pretty survivable.
Hey, you definitely want to stop anyone from getting a hard dive here, and good Brigitte tech to get onto the opposite high ground as a pick onto Date gets found early.
Yeah, nicely done there, taking down the Tracer early on, but Immortality Field does end up getting forced out, so this could cause a problem if a big dive is executed. But on the low ground here, Freeborn gonna take it down as Doc's gonna nail some headshots. But then for some reason, Dr. Jargo actually jumps off the high ground, but manages to make it out alive and with a kill nonetheless. Nicely done there. Make that 2K for him, but Makiba does end up pulling down due to the headshot from Date. So if you're on the side of Meerkat, despite the fact that you're losing members, you are finding trades, and with the respawn advantage, this could work out in their favor.
Dr. Jargo jumps down to try and stop the res of Mercy, but it's too little too late. Gets kind of left out, but it was able to survive. And now the amplification matrix can be huge from Beach Ball.
Yeah, for sure. You can see the dive there onto that high ground. Causing some problems, and there is the window. And now the Transcendence coming through from Slimal, trying to go into the backline to keep his Wrecking Ball alive. It does so successfully. Flux is going to come through, hit up multiple Tempers, but the Immortality Field is there to keep them alive. Now you have the multiple sectioning people off of the objective. Makima finds 2 kills. And now, Beach Ball, they're looking pretty strong here. Meerkat starting to run out of options as the duplicated Bongo does come through, and it does allow them to get a kill there onto the Brigitte, and Reborn with a follow-up. So this is definitely doable here if you're on the side of Meerkat, but you currently only have 2 alive. Just about get to resurrect onto Reborn, but pays for it with their life, and now the Dragon Strike's going to come through, and it's in a brilliant position. Makiba's going to get DMAX, and Luca will end up dropping Minefield to section off the objective, but now you have the rally to re-engage.
Yeah, but it's just only a few players left for Meerkat here, and they're just kind of staggering in, wasting their time. They were able to get 2 ticks on with that fight, but you know what? It's not a good trade for 2 ticks, about 6 ultimates.
Yeah, I mean, nicely, a lot of things used in that fight, but in the end, Beach Ball does end up coming out with the hold, and coming to this next fight, you're going to have really no ults on the board for anybody.
Luca really with the only ult on the board. This window is going to be so big, but he gets picked early. What a huge pick for Date to find. He's been constantly turning up in this map, and he turns up once again. And we have the turret coming down from Dr. Jargo, and it's just Beast Ball trying to hold on as long as they can, but but Doc falls as well. Makua falling out of mech.
Yeah, nicely done there. And now they're going to start to find some more kills here and manage to get the first point capture. Nicely done there from Meerkat.
Yeah, apologies. I thought I heard you lag out for a second, so just wanted to take over real quick. But we do have a lot of ultimates. And Tate, another quick pick onto Luca. It's so much space guarded immediately, and there's a lot of ultimates coming on board, and it's a two-fight scenario for Beach Ball. The lifeline, the lead 1-0 in this series is looking like it's on the line.
Yeah, for sure. As they do have some ults there to work with, and Game of Bomb here is going to come out early. This could be well placed, and it does end up taking down Date, and the Transcendency has to be used to slime him alive. Duplicate's going to come through, but it's an immediate demech due to this bongo, and now the multi-core to push everybody off of this high ground.
Yeah, Reborn's able to reback before the dupe ends. Not going to get much value though. Luca with this. Oh, the back dragons. Date. Managing to find some good value. Doc and Cryo are able to even it out though. The Sigma of Michael does not want to give up to this fight as Date comes in clutch with the 2K. So Pig, what else could he do?
Yeah, and I believe Dr. Jargo tried to go for a bit of a hammer kill. They weren't winning the fight though, so a bit of a.
He was getting ahead of him.
Yeah, got a little bit of ahead of himself, but they're
touch!
not able to touch.
No way.
Meerkat Kollapse take map 2.
Meerkat Kollapse taking map 2. I've been watching the Overwatch League recently, and there's been so many C9s, including today, and it just hurts to see another one. I mean, Beach Ball were putting in and out of that last map, but they still had a chance. I mean, touching the car, it's the basic rule of Overwatch.
Not the best there, but
Yeah, not the best, but I think it was Meerkat Kollapse playing much better. It seemed like that ball comp was very comfortable to them, especially Date on that hit scan. Coming clutch after clutch, able to pull it out.
yeah, for sure. And as map 2 comes to a close, we'll be heading to a quick break as we prepare for map number 3, which will be Escort. You won't want to miss it. We will be right back.
See you later.
Welcome back, everybody, to League Zero Season 5. And we are preparing to hop into map number 3 here between Meerkat, Kollapse, and Beach Ball. Once again, I am Joe Razor, joined here by Mob Killer. And preparing for map 3 here. Of course, map 1 was Oasis, 2 was Hollywood. And now that we're tied up 1-1, we go back to Beach Ball's map pick, and they end up picking Rialto.
Yeah, 1-1 Beach Ball taking a pretty strong map 1, and Meerkat definitely swinging that momentum back in map 2. It could be anyone's series at this point. I think this is probably a deciding map in terms of momentum. If Meerkat are able to continue that level of dominance they showed in Hollywood with that ball comp, then I don't know if Beach Ball can create an answer for it.
Yeah, for sure. Um, we'll have to see though, because I think the ball comp is really strong on this map. But we saw the double shield get some play in last map, and I think the double shield could work here. More on the defensive side, but on the attack, I do expect both teams to pull out the ball.
Yeah, I mean, we did see that Beach Ball didn't seem as comfortable on that ball as really we felt that Meerkat did seem to, especially with Doc on that hit scan that we mentioned before.
Yeah, for sure. So we are just waiting for the teams to be ready. I think we could probably see like I mentioned the double shield, but I think I probably expect to see the ball comp on both sides. Like on the attack and defense. I think the ball is really good, especially on the attack. And then ball Sigma is naturally more defensive sided comp. And it does work well on the defense here, especially on Rialto, where you have all these high grounds to play off of. You could play it with like an Ash or even a Widowmaker if you were feeling confident. But I expect you'll see out of Ball Sigma with your Zen, Mercy, and then you have your Echo, and then kind of the last DPS you could swap out for a lot of different things, whether that be a Tracer, we saw some Hanzo, or even like an Ashe, or possibly even a Cassidy. So I think that's kind of what you can expect here on this map.
Yeah, I just announced it to you that they have not switched the team names yet. So I had to just check the registry real quick to make sure I was not getting myself confused. But what isn't confusing is the dominance that they showed last map. I just want to pull back to that real quick. Is that kind of reckless ult style and hyper aggression that I was talking about on map 1 was just non-existent. They were much more calculated with their dives, and they seemed to always hit the mark when they needed to. And while it felt like Beach Ball fell a little flat, especially in the DPS department.
Yeah, for sure. So we are preparing to hop in here. I believe everybody's back in the lobby. So what's everybody's good. We could hop in here, and I'm really interested. I think this is going to be a hugely pivotal map. If one team can take this map confidently, like if you could see Beach Ball take it with some like pretty dominantly, or even Meerkat, I think that team probably will be set up well to take the rest of the set. Because then you put yourself on match point. You have kind of a map buffer to work off of, and so I think you're looking pretty good here if you are the team to take this map. But if it goes like these last two maps, we might see something fairly close. And in that case, then we have a lot of different options for how the rest of the series could play out.
Yeah, I think it can definitely go either way. Being on match point is such a mental buff that you kind of feel like you play better because it almost feels like the series is already almost over, being on just one more match to win. And you did mention it earlier, but we will be seeing more than likely this double ball comp, and it seems very likely. And I think you definitely give the advantage to Meerkat and Date.
Yeah, for sure.
Attackers
Definitely
incoming
agree.
30 seconds.
Defensive side, we're gonna see the ball comp like you mentioned, and it's gonna be essentially what I talked about, but and the Tracer will be their other DPS, and the attack looks like they possibly want to mirror it. They do still have some time to change, but I think this would make a lot of sense.
It definitely would. I think Ducks on that mostly pocketing Date is definitely what they need for this advantage. I mean, a good pick on that Ashe can just immediately open up this first point.
Stop the payload.
Yeah, definitely. You can see where paid in, and
All kind of hiding behind.
yeah, Wrecking Ball's fighting on the side. Sam's falling really weak. Needs to grab this mega health pack to stay alive.
Definitely just wrapping on trying to posture for position, but they're controlling those flanks, and Luca finds a nice headshot onto Sly, basically shutting down all of Meerkat's chances of opening this point up.
Yeah, good start there. You can see Reborn fighting Doc here on the side, and now if you are Reborn, you're gonna need your Wrecking Ball of Sam to come heal you, which he does, but in the end, it actually looks like Beach Ball managed to win the fight over that space here on the side.
In space, and these ball comps, especially with the double ash, these space matters a lot as Craig gets a nice move off onto Dave.
He's gonna die though.
He trades his life out for it.
Yeah, you can see this high ground though, still trying to be held here from the side of Beach Ball, but they are definitely running into some troubles. As like I said, they lost their Wrecking Ball, and I can see Michael taking over that high ground and taking down Dr. Jargo.
Dr. Jargo following is a big difference. That gives Dave basically all the room they want to work with, as Craig is set up in the backline. I don't know if it's going to matter though. It's a solid fight when goes the Meerkat as they continue this advancement. Only really Doc with the Pulse Bomb is the one chance of evening this out, but Reborn is about to have one of their own.
Get behind me.
Yeah, for sure. So you can see coming around the side is Doc, and he's looking for the Pulse Bomb. And he gets stunned and throws out the Pulse Bomb, but ends up dying. And now Makima on the objective is falling incredibly weak, ends up going down. And you're just looking at desperation touches here, as this first point looks like it's going to be captured shortly by Meerkat Kollapse.
Yeah, Meerkat caps that without using a single ultimate. 6 ults online for Meerkat. If they could even this out, use 2, maybe 3 a fight, they can just roll through second point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look at how many ults. They're working with 6 ults. Beach Ball do have a fair amount of ults of their own, as they're building up to 4.
Even a very strong fight. I mean, if Meerkat go heavy onto this fight and lose, Reborn kind of getting pressured in the back by the Tracer and Ball. But if they lose this fight with heavy investment, they stack support ults. That's not looking good. It's going to be very dangerous for them.
Yeah, not looking too great, and Doc ends up getting taken down there by the shotgun of Date. Transcendence has to be used to clear up the minefield, but this opens up the opportunity for this Gravitic Flux. This could be big. A lot of damage comes through. One kill, and Dr. Jargo's going to fall weak, and they do end up taking him down. Great play there coming through from Mr. Michael, as this will be a fight win and possibly second point cap here for Beach Ball.
We do have a
Pause?
pause and a never mind on the pause. Immediately after. But either way, we had a 4 ultimate investment for Meerkat and 2 ultimate investment for Beach Ball. That's not too bad considering how much time they're going to have on the clock after they tap this. It looks like they are going for a contest really quick. Those support ults on the line. This stuff's going to be big.
Yeah, Bob's going to go out onto the point, and a bit of a Bob 1v1 going on as the Pulse Bomb will end up taking out Makima. So you have the player advantage currently for Beach Ball. But that kill on the slime will trade things out, and now they manage to take down the Wrecking Ball as well. The remaining members of Meerkat are forced into this small room, and a dynamite's will set them ablaze. So nearly capping up the second point, but they get pushed away at the final hurdle.
Yeah, Dr. Jargo tired of living in Date's shadows. They really take it into their own hands there. Makima was switching off the Sigma and onto the Diva, probably to get back faster, ended up staying on it, just because they feel like that's the pick here. And I can't really disagree. Diva is a very strong character at the moment. Doc, with this Pulse Bomb, though, it's going to need to be big. That's the only ultimate online. And if they can end a fight with 1 Pulse Bomb, they'll be looking really good going forward.
I definitely have to agree. You can see a lot of pressure being put forward on the Krieg, so he needs to get out and gets those green attacks, but continuing to find pressure, so they have to give up a lot of space to make sure Krieg doesn't end up dying.
What a pulse!
But a great Pulse Bomb, like you said, takes down Michael, and now an engage onto the high ground here coming through from Craig and Doc, but Doc gets a bit too big for his britches and ends up getting taken down there by the Brigitte. So now you do have to give up some space if you are this defensive side, and Sam is ensuring that with a good engagement. But now you have the rally, but Krieg gets a bit too far in and ends up falling down. Transcendence is going to come through to try to keep everybody alive, but this is not looking too great here. They do manage to trade out Tracers here as Ashes end up taking them down. But now you have the Bobs from both ends going in, and a huge Gravitic Flux. This could be absolutely great. It results in the DMAC. It nearly takes on Dr. Jargo as well. Minefield for both Wrecking Balls get put down, and it will allow them to take down
Luca?
Maxima. I believe Luca walked off the edge there. If so, that's not too great, but
The payload
it is
has
long and
reached
scrappy
the
fight. Does end up going the way of Beach Ball.
Got 2:40 on the clock going into C now. A lot of that time has been drained off, but the Meerkat are looking to still just roll forward here. A lot of ultimates invested into that long fight. And Reborn, now Doc had his opportunity with a Pulse Bomb, hit it, went too big for his glitches. Now Reborn, it's their turn. This Pulse can just roll out. If they land it onto one of the squishy targets like Luca or the Brig, they can end it immediately. But Luca answers back onto Slime.
Yeah, Pulse Ball goes through,
Pulse.
nearly gets eaten, but doesn't connect. And now, if you are Beach Ball, losing your Zen means you have to play a bit more passive if you are really susceptible to this Discord Orb, and you don't have a Discord of your own. But Creek, despite not having a Discord on him, does end up falling down. And Reborn with essentially a 2K as they find a D-Mech, and now they will try to go into the back with the help of their Wrecking Ball. But Date's going to be the one fighting the kills there. Pulse Ball goes to the back, connects onto the shield, I believe, so no kill for him. And now Luca falling extremely weak as Reborn putting on the pressure, but Date now with a 4K in this fight, taking down even more members. Transcendence is being used by both sides as the Diva Bomb comes through onto the point, and it forces them positioning, but the remake is not available there for Bakuma as he gets shield bashed. And now, with the Flux to seal this off, this will be
complete.
side of Meerkat Collapse getting the cap here, 123 on the clock.
Yeah, 1-2-3 on the clock. And it's definitely Meerkat's. Now it's Meerkat's map to lose. With, I mean, getting over a minute on a payload map, or actually just finishing Rialto in general is a tough challenge, but getting over a minute is even harder. So very props to Meerkat. And now it's up to Beach Ball to swing the momentum back in their side. They had some shining moments though, but they need constant brilliance to be able to turn this back and get a higher time bank than Meerkat.
Yeah, for sure. So we're preparing to hop in as we swap sides. I expect to see the Wrecking Ball comps once again. And there it is. So it looks like both teams will run the same exact comps that they started out on. So
Yeah, I mean, these comps, they seem pretty solidified as very strong in both of these teams' favor. Dr. Jollygo posturing a Bastion, which, very funny enough, was very prevalent in the last series in advance. Go check that one out. But going forward, we have not a mirror matchup. We have Makima and Dr. Joggle going up to Samba and Diva respectively. Very different look here, and it's really going to be on Dr. Joggle. Can they find these hacks? Never mind. I got baited by the attacker spawn. As Makima's Diva did look pretty improved going into the third point.
3, 2, 1.
yeah. So
Attackers
here we are.
incoming.
But yeah, Makima going into the Diva. We saw him play a lot of Diva there. And the last one actually goes back to the Sigma, so just baiting us.
Oh,
Of course,
yeah, they love baiting us.
their signature hero is the Diva. I mean, they used to be Pichu, the Pichu bomb. So wouldn't have been too surprised, but you see Creek trying to fight this high ground. It takes a lot of pressure and ends up dying.
Yeah, now this is Meerkat can go very aggressive here without that ball, that threat of a dive onto your Zen. And they could definitely find some space here, but they're ending up playing passive and just letting this card go below.
Wrecking Ball once again try to go in, this time with the Ash, the Tracer and the Sigma. And they will manage to find the opening pick before a trade comes through. Spible's going to be in a lot of trouble as Sam goes off the side of the map. Oh no,
Yeah,
that's
it was
that's
trading
not
back and forth, but Sam off the map definitely is not a trade that you want. And it's going to be Meerkat just kind of taking a back seat for this first fight. Now Reborn has been even with Doc in the percentage, but ends up losing the 5v1. And now the weekend test is looking harder and harder. Dr. Jargo finally does swap over to that Samba after not getting too much done on the Ash. Now Sam has to play a little bit more passive or careful, being careful of the hack. If they get hacked in the middle of the team, it's all over. And the slam going through.
Yeah,
Just like that.
That's a great accretion there. And then you also have that hack taking down Sam. And now they will follow that up with an engage onto the back line here.
What a
even more
pulse!
kill. A huge pulse pump. Takes down 2, but it might be too late. We do have 3 players alive, so it is a 3v4 on this objective. And the respawn advantage is currently there for the defensive side. This looks very winnable. You do have this Flux, though, and it does connect up to a few players. It takes down the rallying for Bridge. But a quick 2K comes through for the side of Meerkat, and off the back of a huge play there from Reborn, this will be Meerkat holding first point.
Yeah, unfortunately, the break was next to the Zenyatta, and just protect them, they bashed away, but the away just happened to be right into Dr. Jargo, finding the 2K with the pulse bomb, and then the defenders' advantage, like you mentioned, was just so strong that they were able to just come back, and now they have a bunch of ultimates on the board. That was Beach Ball's fight to win, but Sam goes off the map again.
Yeah, this time gets booped off. And hit MTD, as Sam says in the chat. And now you have the engage coming through from Creek, who managed to take down Date. Really nicely done there from Creek to open up this fight.
It seems like they won the hard fight and they're losing the easy one. Transcendence gets forced out by the Flux. Sam, another minefield for Craig. Sam falling extremely low. The Bob comes from spawn, able to contest and runs right past the cut. But this Transcendence and Sly able to keep everyone alive for a little bit longer.
Yeah, but EMP's going to come through. Ends up connected on 3 because that Transcendence came in early. They will not have it now for the EMP, finding 2 kills. And now it finally looks like Beachball will have been able to break through this first point.
A little bit of an ego stake from Doc on to Date. But a rally, I guess, keeps them alive. There's those 3 players left. It's not over. Michael coming back on the Reinhardt, though. Sam fighting Doc.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming back. They have fast respawns.
They have 6.
They have everybody back, and these 3 members of Beach Ball just never died.
Yeah, Meerkat just able to stay alive as long as possible. Both tanks do end up falling though, and the Evo's getting too big for them. There's a rally comes up to the other side, and his Flux able to lift up Date. He gets slammed back down, and Meerkat, it feels like they, whenever it comes to clutching an insanely impossible fight, they do it. And then when it comes to tapping it in with the putt, they just whiff it by 10 yards.
So nicely done. Beach Ball will manage to get the first point cap in the end. 2:30 left on the clock.
Yeah, I mean 2:30. If this second point stall goes a little bit too long, you can definitely be looking at a lesser time bank for the side of Beach Ball. But this EMP Transcendence combo is very big. Slide not up to his own Transcendence just yet. If they act fast, this is going to be a very lethal dive from Beach Ball.
For sure. You can see a bit of a play coming through from Creek. Really nicely done. Has this minefield as well. Maybe able to find a kill. And now with the EMP on the back, this is looking like a really great dive. Beautifully executed there from these kind of dive trio.
It feels a little bit mistimed, but it did work nonetheless, so I can't criticize it too hard. And now Meerkat getting pushed on the back foot. I don't think they're going to be able to contest this. They might be able to. It depends. It's not going to be a great fight if they do. Oh, they're going for it. .01!
Good pulse bomb there to take down the brig. And now you have this Transcendence, though, from the second side who traded out with the Transcendence from Slimal. And now you have the dive coming through onto Makima, who's falling very weak, ends up getting taken down. The rally from Ducks will allow him to engage very aggressively, which ends up working on their favor. Like you said, on the 100th of a meter there, away from capping.
So unfortunate. Milliseconds. It was Michael, the one to touch on that Sigma. If he pressed W a millisecond later, they would have capped and be on their way to C already.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
Insane. But now the ultimate advantage, the Beach Ball wanted to win that fight so bad that the ultimate advantage is swung back in Meerkat's favor. And now, there's 40 seconds left. This is basically final fight.
Yeah. You have to... Oh, Jargo comes through from the side but gets blown up. Take it down incredibly fast.
Jargo getting a little bit greedy, trying to go for a C9, using the translocator, but gets caught out. Very greedy play. If it worked, but it didn't. Sly almost got caught out by that minefield, but it's not going to really matter. Bob comes out, and Doc finds Sly.
Yeah, great kill. And now the Flux doesn't actually connect onto really anything from Michael. And we're nearing overtime here. They need to come up with something. Flux gonna come through. But Ducks will get the kill. And before it goes down, and now even more picks going the way of Beach Ball. They need to come up with something big, Beach Ball does, and they
And
have
what's
tried to
big is
come
that
out with the
EMP?
EMP, but I believe it connected onto nobody. Luka managed to find kills to pop the Transcendence, and you only have the support line alive currently for the side of Beach Ball. You will see Creek rejoin now on this Wrecking Ball, trying to create something out of nothing here, but it looks like nothing. It shall remain as the respawns continue to flow through, but no kills for the side. Beach Ball, so Meerkat Kollapse are poised to head to match point.
Yeah, Meerkat going, it's just kind of stalled at this point. It's physically impossible unless they all decided to step off cold point at the same time. It's a long stall coming through, but it's not going to really matter as Meerkat do take map 3 and take themselves to match 2. Ignore that. It is not Beach Ball. We've
Yep,
had some
Beach
technical
Ball did
issues.
not win. Meerkat
It is
won.
not Beach Ball. It is Meerkat up 2-1. Beach Ball did win map 1, but the momentum definitely has swung in the other direction since that Oasis map. I mean, clutch after clutch, Meerkat did, and that's every time Meerkat clutched, while they ended up not mattering too much in the end, I feel like that's just mental strain on Beach Ball. Like, we should have won that earlier. We should have had more of a time bank. And that's definitely pressuring them throughout the series. And we're seeing Meerkat, their adaptations and their overall game plan and dives have just been a little bit more coordinated, and that's all you need in this series.
Yeah, for sure. So nicely done. And now into match point is Meerkat Collapse. Like you said, dropping that opening map, but they came back roaring there for map number 2 and 3. And now we'll be heading on to everybody's favorite game mode 2CP. So if we're gonna see another map 6, this is their last chance to draw a map.
Yeah, the draw here is more likely than really any other. And I mean, it would be so poetic to see another map 6, but I think Beach Ball really need to come back here if they want to bring it to such a map 6. I mean, if they if Beach Ball did if they did draw this next map, they would have to win the next two for Beach Ball to kind of pull it back since map 1, and the mental for that is needs a lot of strength, and that's something they haven't really shown throughout this series. It feels like when times get tough, they kind of fall over, their comms deteriorate, and the focus fire is not there, which is why they're able to put so many like 3v6 clutches, buy time for the rest of the teammate to come back, and let Meerkat kind of have a foot in the doorway.
Yeah, bit of a score update from around the league. As we have the other two intermediate games going on. Louisiana Lobsters with a pretty big upset, taking down Blind Eye Society there in a 3-0 fashion.
Very
I don't
strong.
think really anybody expected that.
Well, I think it definitely tells you the volatility of this region, that there's not really that slouch team that some leagues may have. We don't really have that right now. I mean, everyone can challenge everyone, as definitely shown by the double six map series last week. And now that upset just showing even more that these teams can really bring it to each other.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is I was a big Blind Eye Society enjoyer coming into the season. I thought they could be good. I wasn't as high on the Louisiana Lobsters, but they seem to have really found something here in this week with a really great win. So nicely
Yeah,
done for.
they really seem to struck that, buried treasure, that tomb, if you will, as that is my very uncoordinated segue into we are going to Temple of Anubis for our map for, excuse me, 2CP match, and it's going to be a pretty good one. I mean, I think Temple of Anubis, very strong ball map, and Meerkat has kind of proven at this point that they are the better ball team.
Yeah, Meerkat does look to be better on the ball comp. And so if you're beach ball, do you try to play something else?
I think you can definitely pull it off, more so on B than on A on that defense, but non maybe a double shield on A or some kind of defensive brawl on B. But it just seems like ball dive is just too strong right now. That is obviously what the Overwatch League left us with in 2021, and Meerkat just seems to continue that train of ball supremacy. Quick been sorry, Sam has been so powerful on that ball. Quick been no slash themselves, but it feels like the coordination with the team, Sam is definitely winning in that department.
Yeah, for sure. So preparing to hop in here. Um, I believe beach ball will actually be defending once again. So, of course, just to mess up with the overlay specifically, but yeah. So I'm definitely curious though. Actually, they're swapping sides. This is big.
Yes.
This is big.
So we no longer
The
have to go
overlay
back and
will work
forth.
properly.
It will, of course, there's the age-old bug about if the ownership is handed to someone else, you cannot change the names. It's been very problematic since the beginning, but regardless, these teams, Meerkat, on the brink of a 3-1 victory. Beach Ball looking to pull it back after a 2-1 deficit. It's really going to be on this map. I mean, it is the life of the series on the line. If Beach Ball play like they've been playing, this is going to end in a quick 3-1.
Yeah, for sure. Beach ball need to pull up something different here and something good to come back here on map number 4. But I believe we are about to be ready here to hop in. Any bold predictions for map 4?
I don't have anything bold. I think Sam and Date and Reborn have just been too good. Obviously, the rest of Meerkat as well, but those three specifically have just been really beating the opponents down into the dirt, and especially on a map that favors more ball, more hit scan, and more tracer flanks. I think that Sam, Date, and Reborn are just going to go even more sick nasty than they've been going.
Yeah, for sure. So,
I could definitely see a mostly Zen come out and pocket dates Ash on defensive A, set up on that back high ground, force them to come to you. They get to you, you just coach gun to the other high ground. It's such a defensible position, and it's so hard to counter.
yeah, for sure. So, I definitely agree with you. So, we are
Well,
preparing. I'm still waiting. They are actually trolling us.
that's how it is sometimes. I think it really comes down to beach ball needs to get that mental reset. I mean,
Yeah.
going if they go into this thinking, oh, we're down. We've lost the last two. We're gonna lose this one. We're gonna lose the series 3-1. It's already over. It doesn't matter how they play. We might as well end the series now. But if they think, oh, it's 0-0, we're going into the series. It doesn't matter what the last match don't matter. We're gonna get out there and play our best, and we're gonna bring this back. That's what you need to be thinking as a player, and that's really hard. It's really easy for me to say that, but it's really hard to not remember the past and remember how you kind of just got dominated the last two maps.
Yeah.
Pichu, it is actually Pichu going to the restroom real quick. That is our break. But either way, I think we're definitely going to see a stepping up of not just individual brilliance, which we did have seen, especially from Craig. I think Craig has definitely been the most, um, Craig and Luca, excuse me, have been the most comparable to their opponents throughout the series so far. And they've had that individual moments of brilliance where Luca would pop off kill 3, Quake would pop off kill 4 with mines, but they don't do that consistently and they don't do that together. But what Meerkat does is they'll have those moments, but when they don't, they still have the teamwork behind their back. And that's just really what I want to see out of beach ball. Pull it together as a team. Don't make any hero plays and just win this off of your team synergy and your team brilliance rather than, oh, I can hit heads once every 5 fights.
Yeah, for sure. So, preparing to get in. I'm really interested to see if we will see any double shield here. Obviously, we saw a lot of ball this series, and ball is once again very good on this map. But like I talked about, I do think that double shield could. Uh, I think beach ball, excuse me, do need to try something else because they lost the ball mirror essentially twice, and they're. I think they need to try to think of something else to come out here with here. So I would definitely like to see them maybe try double shield, maybe try some brawl because they did look pretty good on the brawl cup, and brawl can work here on Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, I think the if you map out every possible outcome right now, the highest percentage chance of them losing is, other than just throwing, is mirroring this ball without trying anything else. I think on this first defense that they should try something new, whether it's brawl, whether it's double shield, or it's Winston dive for all I care. I just want to see something different, and I want to see them experiment because if they just mirror this ball, they need a complete. Sorry, they're attacking first, but they need a complete kind of rehaul of their system if they want to come back against Meerkat in that ball mirror. And I want that to be a last resort switch. If maybe Brawl doesn't work or Double Shield doesn't work, I want them to go back to it, but not start out on it. That feels like you're already giving up. It's good to believe in yourself in the mirror, but sometimes you have to be realistic that you've just lost it 2 times in a row in pretty dominant fashion.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So we
Uh,
are preparing to when we just force the teams to play Overwatch, whether they like it or not.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so I've been informed that we will be taking a break before we get into map number 4. You don't want to miss it. It's been a good series. I'm excited to see where it heads. We will be right back.
I should have come back.
Welcome back, everybody, to League Zero. That was like the fastest break in the history of breaks.
Well,
You
these
see,
teams
they
finally
went to break
decided to ready
because
up.
they were ready.
Now
So,
entering the temple of
Yeah,
Elise.
this team's finally ready up, ready to play Overwatch, ready to play the 4th map in this series. And I feel like I've been ragging on Beach Ball a little bit too much after that map 1. So some definitely big positives are that they seem very confident in their play. And that's something, if they weren't confident, I feel like the series would have already been over. And that's very important to be confident in your play. And it
Ready
looks
for
like
battle.
we are going to see some very interesting compositions on attack. It is not solidified, but Meerkat are going to be running what works on defense. And why wouldn't you?
yeah.
Attackers incoming
So,
in
starting
30
here,
seconds.
defensive side is going to be Meerkat Kollapse, and they're going to play this Wrecking Ball comp. Same comp we saw them play on Rialto to great success. The attack of Beach Ball, though, they have some time to change, but currently, they look like they want to play a Monkey comp here with the Pharah Hanzo. I do like the Pharah pick. I think the Pharah could find good value, but I think the Hanzo is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what I wanted to see. Just something different. Well, I think Dr. Drago might struggle against a good hit scan like Date. Regardless, just seeing something different is exactly what I want to see. We have a quick on that Winston, something that seemed pretty comfortable on the limited space that we saw it. And going forward, it's going to be really a battle of this Pharmacy versus Ash.
That was an
Oh,
absolutely great concussion blaster from Jargo. It forced Date off the high ground and allowed them to take him down. And now you have really nothing to challenge Dr. Jargo in the sky. Sam is actually trying to do so here on the Wrecking Ball, coming in from behind, but does end up getting forced out. Touch is going to start coming through on the objective to force people onto it, and they are able to take down the support line, this tank duo for Beach Ball. And now, if you were on the side of Meerkat Kollapse, you're going to start to struggle a little bit. They do manage to find Creek out, but I think that's going to be about it. So Beach Ball will end up tapping first point.
yeah, I think I do like the switch over for Michael onto the Diva. That seems very nice. And onto the Echo, another anti-Pharah maneuver, because that's what they're really going to have trouble with here. I mean, they're definitely going to be able to burn down any wits and die, but if that far is up there putting pressure on them, they're not going to be able to do very much. So if they can shut down Dr. Jargo, I think they can definitely hold this. But with a 550 time bank, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, for sure. You can see Beach Ball, they have to fall back a little bit before they are able to engage. And they look like they want to wrap through Dark here. But this could cause some problems. The support line hasn't fully rotated yet, but a great sleep at Anti-Date allows him to take down Sam. And now after Beach Ball, you got to hit the go button.
Sam just kind of went in all on their own. No really follow-up there. Drake getting nanoed through, and the dragons come out onto Dutch, and it's not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, this is Really nice attack here from Beach Ball. They see an opportunity and they take it. Nearly 3 ticks here on the board, just trying to take down this stall. And now the Barrage can do a great job of doing so. You have the Lucio who's back to touch for a little bit. That's going to be it. Absolutely stellar attack there
458.
from Beach Ball.
458.
Score.
That is one of the fastest Anubis times I've seen in very recent memory. That is egregious. Jake finding a nice 3K with Bob after the fact, but too little too late. That's 458 getting put on the board. I'll say it again, 458 getting put on the board for Beach Ball after coming down 2-1 in the series. That is the momentum shift that they need. And now the pressure is all on Meerkat. Can they come back? Is this ball comp going to be able to do what they've been doing over and over again? The Beach Ball. That was the map to lose. I mean, 5 minutes on the time bank. Even if they cap with 3 minutes, which on its own is an egregious time bank, they'll be attacking A again with 3 minutes themselves.
Yeah, for sure. So, getting in here, the defensive comp, they're going to play the same thing. The Symmetra is just to TP people onto this high ground. I'm not really sure who they're TPing. I guess the Ana. Okay.
Ana, yeah. Ana can, I'm pretty sure Ana can get up there doing some parkour, but it's probably a little much. I'm not exactly sure either. But Dr. Drago onto the, sorry, that's the attacking. Reborn on that Echo. I think
Dr. Drago will actually pull out the
Samba.
Sombra here on the defense. So.
One.
The attacker, like you said, Reborn on that Echo. So they will play this pretty fast. I was going to say this fast dive comp, but now when you swap over onto Sigma, it does really slow down.
Ooh, immediate pick from Doc.
Okay.
That's, you love to see that.
That's a pretty good start.
Yeah, not much to really go on about Marco and pushing around date, switching off the trace and onto the Cassidy, interesting enough. A very interesting pick there. Michael able to fight Dr. Juggle, but the Res is going to be coming up and getting not canceled. The ball tried their best, but 2 picks immediately coming through from both sides. It's anybody's fight.
Yeah, really is anybody's fight here. But I say that Date picks up 2 kills here, and now if you're on the side of Beach Ball, you have to give up a lot of space here. You're really just hoping that maybe you can see a big pick here from Doc, but gets chased down by the Wrecking Ball and taken down. So this will end in a first point captain for Meerkat Kollapse fairly quickly, only taking
They
them
do
a
have 5 pretty close.
Yeah. It looks like there may be a touch here as you have the monkey returning, so they will get a small stall, managing to find 1 kill, but they don't really have the resources or players to make this an extended fight.
Yeah, and now 548 for the side of Meerkat, and they could be looking at an evens time. That would be insane. Everyone switching over to the Genji, finding a lot of value. Doc already has that dragon on board, but what I'm looking at is Sly's Transcendence. Extremely quick build up, and having this to go for an aggressive dive can be all the difference they need.
Yeah, for sure.
Sly finding Doc!
That volley takes down Doc, and now they will start to push forward. You have the Transcendence to keep everybody alive, and they take down Crick. This could be a very similar time bank to what we saw Beach Ball get.
Jay with the High Noon Dragon coming up and spawn, not able to find too much after already capping progress on the board. And I can't believe the Samba's ready to touch at any moment, and they are going to be able to get a weak touch. Craig getting forced out, trying to build up to the final as fast as possible, but dies at 96. Dr. Jojo 97% to EMP, lets it loose, finds 5, doesn't matter though. Mine's blocking up the support line. Holy.
League Zero teams learn how to play defense now.
Yeah, it seems very impossible as it's going to be a 441 time for Meerkat, and now obviously with the 2 CP changes, we're not gonna have to sit here until this match goes to 12-12. It will be a 2 minutes time bank for Meerkat and a 2:15 time bank for Beach Ball.
Absolutely crazy there. I mean, this is an insane map so far. This is crazy.
Yeah, I want to point out on the side of Beach Ball that in terms of damage dealt, it is not even close who the first place is. At a leading 4,772, with the second place being 3,118. It's Doc. Doc on that Hanzo has been so powerful, and Doc got picked by Sly at the beginning of that fight, and that just kind of opened the door wide open for them to go through with that Transcendence and just clean up the rest of the Beach Ball.
Yeah, for sure. So now getting
Oh,
in here once
Tracer this
again,
time.
Beach Ball will be starting on the defense here in extra innings because of the fact that they have the higher time bank.
The Winston comp not working very well on defense. Moving over to a ball comp. Doc switching over to Cassidy already. They're not going to be back here in time.
5,
If they're able to, if Meerkat is able to play fast, then they can get here before the pressure from Doc is even
defend
a factor.
objective A.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Doc is actually back in time.
Okay, so all good, all good. But
Oh, Sam!
that's a huge pick. The Cassidy showing its value early on there.
Maybe some tech issues, but it doesn't really matter. The ball falling early is not too bad. They'll be back in time, taking the side rim route. Dr. Jago looking for a lot of value on the Samba. Not able to get too much through that Sigma shield, though. As Maki gets D-Max.
Yeah, for sure. As you can see there, starting, they have to fall back to the
Line
objective
again.
now because they're continuing to lose members, and they finds two there as he takes down the Brigitte and the Cassidy, and so Meerkat collapse. It takes him about a minute, but they do manage to get forward onto first point.
That's 2 times in a row that Sly has found the opening pick onto an enemy member of Beach Ball to open up the point. And now they're looking at a minute 30 to cap B. They could get a full complete here. It's very realistic, especially with Date already with that high noon. Nobody on the server even close to the ultimate other than them.
I welcome adversity.
Yeah, for sure. As they will try to walk through Dark, it appears from Meerkat. Actually, they will start to move back towards Bane. But they looks like they want to try to find an opening pick before they engage, but they are not having it given to them like they did previously. Doctor actually falls very weak, and there's the pick. They're taking down the Brigitte. The Drake observes Reborn falls to Luca, but you have this high noon clearing out the objective and continuing to find picks here. Is Meerkat Kollapse, who has the rally as well. Keep people alive. We could see a double cap coming through here.
No way they finish in time. Oh, the boot back. The Tracer is able to get a touch in the rally from the double support out from Meerkat. I mean, Beach Ball is able to keep it alive, but the counter Transcendence in the flux is so huge. The EMP was able to cancel it, though. Flies still with the Transcendence. The EMP doesn't get too much value. Ducks falling low on the side, but the Brig on the side of Beach Ball is the one to fall first. Fly finding yet another crucial pick. Date following up. Sam with the minefield, able to clear at half the point. And it's going to be another Meerkat cap. With time!
That is crazy.
With time. We love that is absolutely insane. That meaning that they still have a chance. There's no possible way that Meerkat are out of this map yet, and now the pressure is all on Beach Ball. Beach Ball with an amazing attack, but now it's been 2 rounds since their attack, and the series has kind of caught up to them.
Yeah, I mean, this has been this is. I mean, imagine if this was old 2CP and
It'd be at 6-6 right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you're playing old 2CP here, you would have like over 2 minutes on the clock currently.
Yeah, very
before
thankful for that change.
So.
I do absolutely love what Meerkat are rolling out with. They know that they got rolled by the far in the first, so they're running double hit scan. Date has been a menace on that Cassidy, and Reborn on the Soldier probably isn't a slouch either. Slice Ferocity has also been amazing. It's just overall, I said earlier, it is Beach Ball's map to lose, and now it's definitely Beach Ball's map to lose. They need an amazing attack just like Meerkat just had.
Yeah, they need to pull off something big here. Just if they 100% need to cap both points, but it doesn't really matter the time because what they're gonna have is probably just a few seconds anyways, and those few seconds won't make a huge difference most likely. So they just really need to focus on capturing the both points. But
Yeah, this one's
fair one,
starting
yeah.
a
So the
little bit
read is
low.
correct for Meerkat.
Yeah, Meerkat finds the correct read. That double hit scan is going to be proving really lethal as Reborn's kind of hiding from behind. And not much really getting done, just a kind of poke war.
Yeah, just poking out, seeing if anybody can get an opening before they commit to an engagement. But, yeah, and
The
there you
engagement
can
does come as a nice concussive blast comes onto Michael, who can knock him to low ground so low, but able to survive.
Yeah, he is able to survive, getting some support, but Dux is falling fairly weak, so needs to be careful. And because you're running this Zen backline, this Pharah could be absolutely lethal. And there it is, getting an opening pick, taking down Date. And now that's the go time for the side of Beach Ball. They will engage with the Nano Boosted Monkey, and that allows them to take down Sly. Now moving forward onto Dux, trying to find now Michael, who's on the objective. The high ground is controlled currently by the Soldier, but the DPS of Beach Ball makes sure that doesn't last for long. And this will be a first point capture for Beach Ball.
Yeah, Beach Ball finding another immediate first point capture. And now I'm getting a little bit worried because if Beach Ball are able to capture B, then we could definitely see a draw here.
Yeah,
That's looking a little bit too forward.
6 mapper.
Perhaps 6 mapper, we will see as a lot of ultimates are almost online for Beach Ball. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to take some miracle picks from the side of Meerkat to hold this.
Yeah, for sure. You can see Dr. Jargo trying to fire out from this right side, seeing if he can find a pick. Has the barrage in line. Dragon Strike's gonna
Dragon
come
Strike's
through.
line!
Grabs the
Like
objective,
before
takes down
transcendence.
Slimer. And now the barrage, but takes down the Gravitic Fluxade. Sigma, 3K online for Dr. Jargo. And that is the perfect recipe for a second point capture here. Only some staggers sticking around. Doc's gonna find 2. Have the Transcendence now online, but the Primal Raging Winston keeps him out of the spawn doors.
Nobody able to do anything.
Oh,
And
it is,
once again,
A
Beach
second
Ball.
round. Second round of extra in it.
Switching sides.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Beach Ball able to get not 1 but 2 insane attacks with better times than Meerkat, and now it is 1 minute against 129. And we were talking about the draw earlier, but I mean, Meerkat has been just falling over on this point A defense. I just think their comp is not a defensive comp. This ball comp needs to be going forward, and they're kind of waiting and sitting there to get picked. I would want to see a different look from Meerkat, at least for this defense.
Ready for battle.
But it is their attack first.
So. Okay. Deep breath. Beach Ball. Defensive side. Running the same comp we saw him play a bit on their opening defense. I mean, somebody pointed out in the Twitch chat, there has been 0 defensive fight wins this map.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when they've been offense, 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 and that's what Meerkat wants out here. Meerkat's going to be able to set the pace. If Meerkat gets a full cap on this attack, it is a very dire wall to get over. But if they get full held, to be able to mental to come back, it's going to be insane.
5, 4, 3,
Yeah, for sure.
2,
They just need to focus on A.
60 seconds
Hopping in here.
remaining.
Seconds
Defend
remaining.
objective A.
So they have a
Also
minute to
able to
attack
scout.
with. And they're going to be playing this ball comp once again. Dave falling very weak. Nearly gets taken down. They will be on the Genji once again.
Yeah, this Cassie from Date's been very powerful, but I just want to see some strength from it. I mean, they're pushing through, but they're being very passive
Great
right now
shot.
as Date gets picked. Great shot from Doc, and the Sands ball isn't able to do very much. And now it's final fight territory.
30 seconds remaining.
First defensive fight win. This is big.
Their time is running out. Push them back.
We do have Reborn in the back line.
Yeah, you can start seeing them try to engage. Michael falling weak could possibly go down here from this Pharah. I mean, a lot of direct hits on him. I mean, if he's not careful, could go down. Looks like he gets some support, and that results in Date managing to take down the Mercy. And so now Dr. Jargo's going to be in opportune position.
Oh, we do have a
Tag's
touch.
going to come through to trigger overtime. And so now if you are on the side of Meerkat Kollapse, you really just need to get onto the objective, get those vital kills,
Doc.
but another great shot from Doc to take down Date. It's trying to spell otherwise.
Doc evening it out, falling low though, getting pressured out, Makita out of the back as well, as the Nano Quake comes in trying to do as much work as possible, finding Dustin, Transcendence and Slight is just too big. The Fog comes back, the Mercy and Honor on the side, able to just look in horror as the team falls apart on A, and it is going to be a Meerkat A attack win. And now they're going to be with 30 seconds on the board, 1 fight scenario. This blade needs to be built.
Yeah, it definitely does. You can see they're having to fall back. Beach Ball. Diva Bomb, they're trying to go in aggressive here, and they get
Luka!
the Ana. That's an
Raz
absolutely
gets
huge
used.
hit. The Dragon Strike's gonna try to trade it back, and it nearly gets 2.
It
And
gets
they
2.
even fighting the support line. This is looking great here for Beach Ball. They have the Barrage on the objective as well. They have the Primal Rage, so it looks like they will be held. No second point captures here for Meerkat Kollapse, but definitely a great attack.
3-point pulls the blade, last second desperation on 10 HP. None of it will do anything good, and the win condition has been set. Point A cap in 33%. That's all Beach Ball need in a minute 29, barring a 30-second time gain from A.
5 to 4.
I would be looking at, if I was Beach Ball, I would just be looking at recap A, GG's. Because, I mean, the cap A, there's no losing this map. The series will continue. And they've been so dominant at capping A and B, for that matter, that, geez, we could be going to, we see it in the chat, we could be going to map 6 again.
Yeah. Map 6, yeah, fun. But, I mean,
Very
no,
possible.
this has been absolutely great stuff here from both sides. They've both looked incredibly good on these attacks. They know exactly what their win conditions are. Their defensive sides we won't talk about, but these attacks, they look really well practiced. And now if you're on the side of Beach Ball, you have your win condition. You essentially get an extra fight because of how good their time bank was. They eventually get almost 30 seconds extra. So they essentially get a full extra fight coming into this. But Reborn's going to be on the Tracer this time. Last time we saw him on the Soldier, but chooses the Tracer this time.
You definitely see that the Soldier didn't work out as well as they wanted, and Dr. Jargo on the Pharaoh has just been the big difference maker in this series. Doc's been consistently performing well, but Dr. Jargo now finally coming alive in the series.
Yeah, for sure.
Big rockets, splash damage coming in, already building up to that ultra. It's one good barrage to win this course. As Doc finds Date immediately.
But he's in not a great position, so nearly dies, but gets out barely with his life. Creek's going to be the trade pick. And now Dr. Jargo, you can see how deep they're in. And Dr. Jargo and Doc, the two doctors of the team, sending Meerkat to the hospital. And this is looking great for the first point capture for Beach Ball.
Yeah, worst case scenario, Meerkat will not be winning this map. This is a draw or loss scenario for them. And now it's all or nothing. That's crazy.
Yeah, this has been an absolutely crazy map so far. You can see Sam trying to stall out. They're trying to get as much time burned off the clock as possible. But that's that is a nice pick there. But this barrage,
they forced the barrage. They need a big flex. Michael does find the pick with his on the high ground is just doing too much healing. And Nano, they have forced to use Nano.
Yeah, they do force Nano. So they won't be able to win this, but forcing out Nano there is absolutely huge.
Yeah, now it's a one-fight scenario for this B attack as well. They're definitely trying to force that overtime, but now we have both tank ultimates and going to be a Dragon Strike, maybe even a Valkyrie in an extended fight against basically 0 ultimates.
Yeah, I mean, you looked at a situation where Beach Ball, once they won that fight, they were looking at two fights here for second point. But now, because of that stall, you're only looking at this one. So this is big do-or-die moment. Let's see who can come out on top. Fight here in Dark. Primal Rage going to come out from Creek. Tried to take down some members. They will get a tag onto the point, and the Dragon Strike comes through. Absolutely huge. Byfield being deployed onto the objective. Michael tried to come back in touch. Reboard on the Doom Fist in the backlight. Try to come with any picks he possibly can. You're only looking at a few percentage points here away from a series victory, or from a map 5, excuse me, for Beach Ball. Reboard taking down Makima, and this is going to send us to a map 5, I believe. This is looking in favor of the attack.
Yeah, but the defense coming through.
But that's going to be it.
Dark, I can't believe it. They're able to clutch it out, and it's a draw.
Oh my gosh.
What a clutch coming out. First the Meteor Strike able to even it out, and then the Reds not able to get as much value as they really needed, and it was a draw. They look so good on the attack, and 2CPU truly is a game mode of all time. Oh my. And the series is still 2-1 Meerkat as we have a draw on control. We could could be looking down the barrel of another map 6.
Wow.
Wow. That's all we needed. I
That was
mean,
a map of Overwatch.
that was a map of all time. What an insane map. We double overtime to be able to take this, and I this is going to be a long one, folks. So strap
It
in.
already has been.
It already has been a long one, but it could go even longer. Beach Ball still need 2 more maps to win this series. That's the thing that we don't want to point about it. That we need to point out that Beach Ball, they were so dominant on their attacks. Dr. Juggle on the ball on the far was so good that they were able to attack in such dominant fashion. But that recontest for Meerkat, I need to point that out. That was a map winning play to recontest, find the pick onto Mercy, and force not only the Barrage but the Nano, 2 of the most important ultimates. And they didn't have those ultimates going into the B fight because of that recontest. And that just kind of let them not have the little bit more push that they needed to get over the line. They were probably about 5 to 10%, I believe, away from capping the point, and they just needed a little bit more. And we do have, because Meerkat technically won the last map draw, it will be Beach Ball's pick again. And we're going to be going to a quick break. And make sure to tune back in for map 5 of a very intense series. Oh, are we off? Well, just in case we're not off, I'm gonna keep talking because I don't mind. Uh, we do have. I mean, I think we definitely saw Beach Ball come back to life in this series.
Yeah.
We Beach Ball after map 1, they looked very good on that brawl, but in the ball mirror, they just didn't have what it took. And they did kind of show up on the ball on the, I believe, second or third attack. They were using ball instead of Winston. The main difference maker was Dr. Jogger. Dr. Jogger went a little bit quiet, especially on that Somber around maps 2 and 3. But they definitely, that far, seemed like a comfort pick with how well they were playing it. Are we off?
Uh,
All right. Wait, are we off or are we on? All right. We're on? All right. I thought so. Just wanted to make sure. Date. I think Date's Cassie was a good kind of switch up against that far. Wasn't able to find as much value as would have hoped, but you can only hope for so much in a 1v2 Cassidy versus the Pharmacy. Busan is going to be our 5th map, though. I mean, Meerkat needs to close out this series because with how strong Beast Ball were on the last map, and if they win this one, all the momentum's in their favor. This is do or die for Meerkat.
yeah, it definitely is. Beach Ball, they got to take this control. It's once again their map pick because Meerkat won map number 3. And then
Yep.
because map 4 is the draw, we go to who wins map 3 to decide for map pick. And Beach Ball chose Busan. So that's where we will be heading to. Definitely an interesting map because Ball is pretty good on like 2 out of the 3 points.
Yeah.
Obviously, Control Center, not Control Center,
Mecha base.
Mecha Base, thank you, is definitely more Brawl favored. So Beach Ball could definitely put up a fight there, and then they just got to find one of the other 2 points.
Yeah, I think it's gonna come down to the thing is, I like Beach Ball. We were talking about before Anubis that Beach Ball needed to do something else, and they did something else, and it worked. And I'm wondering if they're going to continue that. It might not be as good as it was on Anubis, but if they're going to continue that or go back to the ball mirror, because I'm a little worried if they go for the ball mirror. I trust them to at least be to win or have an advantage in the mecha based brawl match, but we are going to be starting on Busan Sanctuary, a very ball and far heavy map.
Yeah, for sure. So popping in here.
Ooh. What a series so far, though.
I mean, this has been absolutely crazy. But a
Yeah,
good map. I've had a good time here.
Yeah, it is amazing. The back and forth, the clutch moments. This is a series for the making.
I was talking to somebody last time
Ready for
during my last
battle.
cast. I was telling them about how I about how casting Overwatch has made me go crazy. Because you have a lot of series which are absolute snooze fest. And then you have games that feel like it's just a repeat of the game you just watched. These are the games that I stick around for. Like this is why I love Overwatch.
This
And
is Overwatch right
yeah,
here.
this is Rocket League. This is
This is
Overwatch.
Rocket League.
4, 3.
But yeah,
And
we're
we
gonna
do
start
see
the
Dr.
Qualcomm
Jargo on the Pharah still, and I love that.
Capture the
It works,
objective.
and they're gonna keep going with it until it doesn't. That's what you need to do in these series.
Yeah, for sure. So
Date on the Ash, though, he was very lethal throughout basically the whole series. Date's been extremely lethal on the hit scan, and without all of the cover from maneuvers, it's going to be on him to shut down this pharmacy. Wait, Michael's still in spawn.
yeah, they started.
Michael switched
I
to
think,
Diva.
okay, I think they started the Sigma that saw the Pharah, so went to swap to the Diva, which is okay.
Very
'Cause
smart.
if they don't, you just lose this opening fight. That just is a free like 20%
And-
beach ball. But here, it's gonna start with the opening for Date as he gets the kill there on Dot.
Yeah, a little anti-Castle's curse. They're talking about how good Date is. Immediately onto a headshot on the dog, opening it up. Dr. Jargo not able to stay up very long, and it's going to be Meerkat taking first gap.
Nicely done there. Like you said, first cap going the way of Meerkat Kollapse. So nicely done from there. And as Dr. Jargo actually goes over into the Sombra.
Very reasonable, but I do hate to see it, just because of how good Fair was.
Yeah, his fair's been fairly good, but was really getting shut down there. So
It makes sense. But either way, the Sombra needs to find value in hacking his ball. He's done that throughout the series. They've done that throughout the series pretty well. And we're having kind of two different fights, one over Drum and one on left side. Reborn finding Doc. I want Doc getting picked first once again.
yeah, this DPS line here of Meerkat Kollapse, putting in the work, they're taking down the other DPS line. And now you're going to see the engage here onto this Bongo. Luca falls down. The Brig as well will drop, so no supports, no DPS. That's going to be the fight.
Yeah, fight goes pretty quick. Just Meerkat quite literally DPS diffing, each DPS finding the other. And it doesn't really matter too much about the ultimates on board because Luca has the nano, but none are actually officially ready until now. And this nano, who's your real target here? Diva? Ball? Tracer?
Yeah.
And Dr. Jargo falls?
Yeah, Dr. Jargo goes down early, and you can see this engage here onto the left side. There goes the Ana. You can see the Briggs falling low. Flyable does actually get taken down weak due to that pulse buff, so pop the Transcendence to stay alive. But you can see Meerkat Kollapse. They're feeling themselves.
Yeah, I mean, this ball comp without the Pharah, they feel lost. It feels like their engage is just a little bit a second behind each other. Luca switching over to the Zenyatta to much match the power of Slide. But it's already 90% and counting with 3 ults on the board. Dr. Jungle doesn't even have the MP yet.
Yeah, for sure. Diva Bomb going over the... Sliding off the roof. They actually misses
Good
the
tech.
spot.
And they don't touch!
Oh, they don't touch!
No way! The ults were definitely in favor
point-
of the
Score
cat. Oh my.
point-
0.
Guys.
You fans of Overwatch out there, remember, the point is a very important part
That's
of
the second
Overwatch.
C9 today.
That is a
For like
second
this time.
C9 in this match. And we have drastic switches. 6-man versus Brawl.
Yeah, okay, so resetting here.
Reset. Mental reset.
Oh, God.
Hey, 0-0.
Going on to downside. Yeah, I need to reset mentally. Cutting on the downside here. Interesting though that we're gonna see the
5,
Torbjorn variation of this brawl. You tend to see more aggressive brawl comps on this point, but instead it's gonna be a more passive one for each ball.
I think they're expecting this ball comp, so this 6-man could definitely, from Meerkat, could definitely trip them up. And, I mean, Meerkat is now one round away from taking the whole series. Torbjorn going to the back, Reborn trying to do so much work as the Reaper as they can, but they're all falling low.
Yeah, for sure. Ducks gets caught up playing too aggressive, gets moved back into the side of Beach Ball, so goes down. You can see that Reinhardt there of Craig is falling weak, but manages to stay alive. And so with Sam also being taken down there by the right click of Dr. Jargo, this will be a first point capture for Beach Ball.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they were kind of brawling the front line of Beats Ball, while with 6-man against the brawl comp like this, you need to go onto that Baptiste and Lucio. The longer the fight lasts, the better it is for the Reinhardt-Baptiste brawl. But
Yeah,
the
for sure.
Coalescence is already online. That's the big difference maker. So is the Blizzard.
Oh, less it so. Coming in, so we'll try to push them back. Blizzard, though, is going to be hit directly in the choke, but Krieg does end up falling. The Blizzard is really good, and they're going to try to use the window to capitalize off of it, but all it results in is the death of Reborn. But the man advantage is still there for the side of Meerkat. Kollapse, they tried to engage on. This multi-core is causing all sorts of problems. They're taking down Ducks, Sam, and now Michael.
Yeah, a good clutch coming out from Beast Ball. It was definitely in the favor of Meerkat after, you know, that very good coalescence came through and finding the pick onto the Baptiste, the main source of healing. And to be able to clutch it through without even using the shadow is very big. But this EMP fight is coming up and they need to be ready for it.
So you can see the EMP looking for their targets. If the Lucio could stay alive, this would be, or
He's
not
hiding.
get hit, this would be ideal. So you have the sound barrier. There is the sound barrier before the EMP comes out. So the EMP completely wipes that, and Duck's sound barrier is perfectly fine. And so that's a bit of a misplay coming through there from the side of Beach Ball.
Yeah, I feel like Beast Ball has to know that the EMP is online, and to use the beat like that, even if it is to save your Reinhardt, you gotta know that they're gonna immediately counter EMP.
Yeah, so a bit of an unfortunate scenario there. It's a Meerkat got onto the objective. 90% though, built up for the side of Beach Ball.
That's definitely the plus side, and good ultimates online as well. Beach Ball are looking to be able to close this out. They're trying to get as much EMP charge as they can. Already 50% to another one. That's still really key. They need to build up as many EMPs as possible if they want to win this.
Got her!
Shatter,
May wall.
getting only the Winston, but that's all they needed.
Yeah, nicely done. Diva Bump's going to come into the back. They need to be careful of it. Doc ends up actually falling from the Diva Bump. Bit of a misposition there coming through for him. And they're going to try to run through onto the objective. The Lucio falling weak. The Blizzard.
What a Blizzard!
Get out Reborn from Reborn right before he falls. And it's absolutely big. Takes down Luca. And it allows him to get another pick there. So this is definitely looking winnable here at this point, really, for either side.
It's either side. Winston from Sam is just swinging. Date has EMP, but the beat is able to keep them alive. Dr. Jocko no longer in form, but they need to destroy this Torpedo. It's just doing so much work. As it's a lot of members of Beast Ball on the far of the EMP, but there's not really much to do. The lamp already down there, and Meerkat is just kind of taking the staggered fight, but this is final fight for them anyway. They're throwing everyone on fight. It doesn't really matter. Date switching over the Widow, but it's already basically over.
Yeah, 90+% now for Beach Ball as that clock continues to tick up. Drop over for Michael onto the Wrecking Ball, try to get back to the point, and they go out on the Widow to try to clutch, but nobody's able to get onto the objective, and they had members there. A second C9.
I wouldn't even call that much of a C9. It was kind of already over.
They had
But-
players right there next to the point.
Yeah, they had
They could've
players. I
touched.
wouldn't have trust them. But this is the do or die. 1-1. Meerkat win this round. They win the series. If Beach Ball win it, we go to map 6. It's the Brawl Mirror. Beach Ball have won this Brawl Mirror in the past, in map 1, so they're looking confident here.
Alright. I have to take a breather, but
5,
getting in
4,
here.
3,
We're gonna see near mirror comms. Biggest difference is that second DPS. Torbjorn once again for Beach Ball, while Meerkat rocking the Reaper, so the Reaper comp will be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, this aggressive comp, I think, is what they want to do. They want to go as fast as possible and win this fight fast, and it's going quick.
Yeah, Krieg falling very low, has to stay alive. Only stays alive due to that mortality field, but that could only save you for so long. But Michael's going to be the first to fall. Now you can see the aggression starting to come through. A nice pin there from Sam. The flank pit actually allows him to take down Dr. Jargo. And so now you have an
It is even.
fight.
Oh, but that pick up the Ducks is big. Losing another support. Date, the only really man on point. Trying to do as much as they can. They do find the Demon back as the Torpedo gets laid down. Date being able to do so much work in this week, but Sam comes back on the Reinhardt slide. It falls though. That's the main heals down as Craig's just getting swung at from Sam, but Dr. Jargo on the good freeze. Oh, but the blossom for Date being able to build up so quick. Able to clutch this fight out.
Yeah, nicely done there. Date with the 3K. Not sure if they needed it. I felt like the fight was starting to go their way, but I'm not going to blame them for pulling out that blossom. It's an incredibly close fight there.
Yeah, I just wanted to clutch it. Let this percentage start going. And now they're in the driver's seat to win this series. Quick window.
Yeah, the wall is there to try to block a lot of the damage, but doesn't do too well. Dr. Jargo gets walled off here, and the ice block can only stay up for so long. And trying to help this Luca, which results in their death. Slime fights too, is they're gonna push in, force back Beach Balls. Nice fight there for Meerkat. Kollapse.
Yeah, now it's a ton of ultimates building on board of both teams, and this is the big ultimate fight that we're always talking about. If Meerkat are able to win this fight, they are looking really good to take control of this series. And they do have the wraparound.
That is
What a
come
shatter!
through, and it's absolutely huge. But it Creek said they'd be the only one to die. And now the counter shatter finds some good value, but they were already frozen up, so the shatter doesn't get as much value. But I mean, they do end up winning this. That is absolutely big play there from Date. Date manages to not get shattered. So when Creek lands a shatter, Date's able to continually put pressure on that Reinhardt.
Yes, and standing in some molten core on the ground, and honestly, it doesn't really matter. They want to fight, but now they're already looking to take this point quick as amplification AC comes out. What did he?
Blizzard gets in, and that's absolutely huge. But Sam's still the opening pick because you have this sound barrier to keep everybody alive. Blossom in the backline, though. This
Dave
could be
with
huge.
another one.
If Wright's one, it allows Date to get a 2K as well as the D-Mac. This is looking absolutely great.
Date!
And Date finds 4 kills and the D-Mac. Absolutely huge. And this could be it here. Meerkat Collapse, 93, 94. It's continuing to tick up. The nearest member is that Lucio. I don't know if he's going to be able to get the touch. Does
gets
get
it.
the overtime.
They just the hero that they needed, and it doesn't matter anymore. The
Nobody
series
can
is
touch him,
over.
that's it.
Meerkat Collapse taking a 5-map series 3-1 in a very dominant final round. It was all Date all the time, as he deserves this play of the game.
Nicely done there. Meerkat Collapse taking the 3-1. They drop map 1. They draw map 4. And the first round here of Busan was relatively close, but in the end, they do come out on top.
What a performance from all of Meerkat, but I gotta talk about Date. I've been saying it all series, but that dominance in hit scan, that dominance on Hanzo, and then that dominance on Reaper at the end, building the Blossom in the first fight before even the supports have ultimates, that's practically unheard of. And be able to clutch it out in the very end with a 4K, jeez. I mean, he's my personal player of the match.
Yeah, I think for me it would be between Date and Reborn. I think they both played
Oh, yeah.
absolutely incredible. Also, big shout out to Sam. I mean, I thought his coordination with both of those DPS members was absolutely great.
Yeah, I mean, all around, obviously, I've been talking about a few key people just building some storylines throughout the series, but all of Meerkat are firing on all cylinders. I mean, there's no weak link here. They're all performing so well together, which I think was the big issue from Beach Ball. They looked coordinated when it was around Dr. Jargo's Farah, but as soon as they were off that far, it seemed like there was a little mental desync, and that is, I think, why Meerkat were able to really take that. And I just want to ask the production if we're going to be doing an interview. Well, we'll just keep talking about it. I think either way, this was an amazing batch. There's only one more map it could have gone, and 5 maps with a draw is just as good as 6 maps with the draw in my book.
Yeah, great series there. I mean, that was
Excuse me.
that was incredible. So nicely done.
Yeah, we're going to be
Good.
having a Koi interview, and it's a good one. I mean, we got to talk about this was a very interesting match. Make sure to ask them the right questions. Uh, the first map, it was a brawl mirror, and they ended up losing it. So for Meerkat to be able to win the brawl point on Busan is a real upset. Yeah. By the way, that was a bait. Koi did not win. It was just a bait. And
Good
so
on
we do
Sam.
have Sam in here.
Oh, it's me. It's me. Hello, everyone.
Hello, congratulations. I mean, an absolutely incredible series. Obviously, you guys dropped map 1, but as soon as that map ended, you guys were right back on the money with map 2, 3, and then 5.
Oh
Just
yes.
tell me, did you guys feel like any? How'd you guys feel after dropping that first map?
Okay, so after first map, our okay. So it was a bit of a comp diff, and we never adapted to it. It's like we run the Doom Reaper a lot, and they definitely came in like ready to counter it with the May Sim stuff. Like they would just fuck our Doom every time. So after the first map, we were basically just like we got mad for a second, but then we were like, okay, it was a comp diff. We're better than this team, and we can just come back second and win, which we did.
Yeah, you definitely did do that. It was a very dominant performance. And I gotta ask, I mean, who going into this series, was there any specific player that you were worried about on the side of beach ball?
Okay, for me personally, it's Crake because I just am constantly trying to mind game main tanks. That's like a big focus for me. But I think for most of us, I think we were a little worried about the coaching of Kern and Cam, or maybe just me. But I know they're really good coaches. I knew that they would try to counter us based off of the blind eye game. So I was just worried about adapting to them, which I think we ended up doing really well.
Yeah, I certainly think you did do that well. And I did notice your team at most points of the series did seem a little bit more kind of on the same wavelength when it came to dives, and that ball comp especially was very dominant for
Oh
you
yeah.
guys. How did you feel after drawing Anubis and a possible second 6 map series in a row?
I mean, we're pretty confident that by the end of the game, we're all warm enough to just roll the control. So drawing drawing Anubis to me just felt like, okay, we won this game. Because we're gonna go into control now and we're just gonna be comfortable and we're gonna win. And it was closer than I thought it would be when we got there, but I don't know. I think drawing Volskaya actually felt so good for me because I really thought they were gonna take it and we clutched the last fight there.
Yeah, that was definitely good. It was amazing clutch there. I think even us as casters, we were going back and forth in that final fight. It was so hectic, and we were calling it like Beach Ball were gonna win, and then
Yeah.
just out of nowhere, you guys find 4 kills. And I don't have any more questions for you, but feel free to ask another one.
Yeah, just real quick, you guys really, you and especially Reborn, you guys seem to have a lot of coordination on your dives.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
with your ball comps, is that something that do you guys just have like a natural chemistry?
Yes, definitely. The only other team that I've done like a ball on at all, well, I was only really on one other real team, which was Epi in season 3. And my problem on ball usually is that I'm normally a really like intense calmer and I like to set tempo. I can't really do that on ball as well. So I'm just not as good at it. So it was really important that I had a tracer that like knows what I'm doing and I know what they're doing. And me and Reborn, we don't really calm that much. We just know. And it feels really nice. Like I feel like we're synced up really well most of the time.
Yeah, you can tell it by watching. So really nice win. You guys played absolutely great. Just before we let you go, anybody want to shout out?
I want to shout out the Lobsters for their 3-0 win. Just a
Yeah.
beautiful job. We warmed them up. They were looking a little rough. They came in and they 3-0'd. Good work, team. Good work. And that's all I got,
Congrats to the
though.
Lobsters, and once again, congrats to you for the win. What a series, honestly. And thank you for coming to the interview. Congrats on the win. And unless you got any final words, I'm ready to sign us off.
Thank you, everybody. Woohoo!
The joy in his voice as he departs. It's something you love to see from these players. That kind of um, power and dominance in some maps. They definitely showed that. I had an excellent time casting it. Like you were saying earlier, this is one of the Overwatch casts we love to do. This is Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I look forward to when I cast. Obviously, not every series is like this, but this one was. So we got fortunate. But with that, that's going to be it for us here at League Zero. I was Joe Razor, joined here by Mob. On the production, we had Alianos. Big shout out to him for running the stream and
Shut
stuff.
up.
Big shout out to these teams for putting on a great show. But with that, we will be signing off, and I hope to see you around.
All right. See you guys.